And forgot all about you guys, and I'm just over here having a party all by myself. Hi, welcome to the Friday night small talk. I see I still forgot to. There we go. I need to make a logo for this since it's something we're going to be doing a lot. But tonight's show is kind of a free for all. We don't really have a topic, unlike most of the other shows. What we do, though, is a lot of women have things that they want to bring up and they like to put on the table for us to discuss. It might be something that you read, it might be something that you heard, it might be a personal experience that you or a friend had, it might be something that's going on at work. Who knows, something you saw in the news, whatever the issue is. This is an open forum, and we just kind of, put the stuff out there, and then we all mash it around and come up with an answer if it's at all possible. Otherwise, we're just sharing gossip and just going to be sitting around with Pikachu face going, oh my God, did that really happen? Hey, what's up? Yes, it is Happy Friday. Excuse me, I'm still coughing, but it's way better than it was. So let me get started. I have a couple of things that I wanted to talk. Oh, yeah. Okay. The first thing is I noticed when I was looking in the chat stream from Tuesday's show that a young lady asked, she couldn't understand what I was saying about how you're single until you get married. And she's like, well, okay, if you want to get married though, at what point do you, start working towards that? And my thing is there used to be this old fashioned thing called courting, where a man lets it be known what his intention is. He's putting stuff in place. He's checking in with your parents saying, this is what I got going on. This is the date I plan to have it done. I'm serious about her. This is our goal here. It's not going to be taking a whole long length of time. I'm looking at a 90s, 120-day time frame. And then he makes stuff happen. So it's not like this just endless, I'm not really sure. We're just spending time together. We're, loving and, doing the do, and we're just hanging out and, we know each other's friends, with this endless nothingness as far as you can tell that's going on. That's what dating is these days, and why people can get on with dating for 6-12 years. I mean, years people are doing that. And there's no real end game. There's no real plan. I mean, they may say, well, we kind of talked about getting married. Okay, but what does that mean? What's our time frame here? What's he putting in place? Is he buying a house? Is he paying off his student loans so his credit is good so he can buy a house? What are you doing? I mean, what's going on with you as a couple that's making you know that this man is serious about you, and that's what he's trying to do, is spending time with you, is going to mean something in the end. Now, I found, you read her comment? Wait a minute. I think, let me just, what am I struggling for? I can put it on the screen. What will stop a man from seeing other people if she doesn't accept a girlfriend? Has that ever stopped a man from seeing other people? Get real. What is a girlfriend? Nothing. And if he's seeing other people, you single, you supposed to be seeing other people too. Y'all keep missing that fine detail. You still worried about what he's doing. You don't worry about what he's doing. You worry about you. He's not talking about nothing. He just want to take you off the market so he can still dip and dab on the side, and you be sitting up there with your fingers crossing your knees together and your fingers doing this thing here, wait for him to come back and pay you some attention and some mind, please. I'm telling you, if it's the kind of thing where, you just met a man, right? A lot of them, especially you young ones, you're going to run into a dude saying, well, I want you to be my lady. I want to be, you're going to be my girlfriend. You mine, it's me and you have stuff here. What is that doing, though? How is that benefiting your life for him to say that to you and for you to agree to it? What's happening? Is the money coming into your bank account? You like living larger? What's going on that's going to make you want to agree to what he's talking about? It's traditional. I mean, I know a lot of women, are used to that, and that's what you're going to go for. But I caution you to think about the world has changed. Okay, the world has changed. And those of you whose minds are still stuck on some stuff from the 1950s, you need to get it together. That's not what these dudes are offering anymore. So you being a quote, girlfriend merely means that you somebody, especially if you're living with him, to help him pay half the bills, come up financially, cook and clean for him, and get all the benefits of being a wife, including the bedroom activity, babies, all kind of stuff y'all giving these boyfriends. I wish I would. Yeah, it's like, okay, I have something I found online. Hold on a second. Let me find this, what this dude was saying here. Because I wanted to I put his little video clip. It's real short. So pay attention, because otherwise you're gonna miss it.
Ain't no dating at 30. Here's the keys to my house, my Costco card. I'm your kid's stepdaddy, and we're wearing matching pajamas on Christmas Eve. Hurry up, son.
Okay, there it is. I don't know what else I need to tell you. If a man is serious and he's got some stuff for their goal set in mind, all this dating for 5 and 10 years, living together, doing all this old stuff like that, that's not going to happen. You guys are wasting your life doing that. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your youth, you're wasting your fertility, you're wasting your body, you're wasting everything on somebody just as a boyfriend. I'm not really sure, because I just don't get it, what being, this boyfriend thing means to you past the age of 16. It don't mean shit. When you're 15, 16, 14, it's like a big deal, because it's like a rite of passage. The little girl's like, oh my God, you're going to have a boyfriend. And then your family's like, oh, you're going to be a lady killer. You just a boy killer. Just, all the boys are going to be after you, this kind of thing. So it's like wearing makeup, getting your cycle. I mean, it's like a rite of passage. So, we all go through that. You go through this thing where you're interested in having this quote boyfriend. Okay, so now you're a teenager. Okay, but now you're an adult. Your life is different. You got responsibilities. You got bills to pay. You got all kind of obligations on your time. You don't have time to waste around dating forever and a day. And like I said, I need you to think about this logically, not emotionally, logically. If a man comes to you and he says, I want you to be my girlfriend, how is that benefiting you? I see how it's going to benefit him, because he's going to have some steady booty and all this other stuff. But how is that benefiting you? I mean, are you going to trade yourself just for some steady D? Is that what you're doing? Child, I'm going to just tell you this as an old woman. When you're young and you're getting it, and it's like, oh my God, this is really great. Okay, then you get 10 years older and you get some, some new stuff. And it's like, oh shit, where has he been all my life? And then you go through, and you get older and older, and the dudes just get better and better. So it's like you sit there and you think, well, that was good. I have to say, it was good. But this shit right here is stellar. So if you stop and get so fixated on what's good at 25, and he ain't offered shit else except for that, and you going to call it your boyfriend and be all invested in it and stuff, you're going to miss out. And I'm not saying you got to be a, garden tool, but you definitely should not limit yourself based on what he's talking about. What he's wanting, unless he's talking something serious. Babe, I got this money saved up. I got to wrap for a down payment. Let's start house shopping. I got some money saved up for our wedding. I want this to happen like within the next 12 months. What do you think? Is that something you're interested in? Dude is talking about something. He ain't just trying to date you and take you off the market, and you just doing all this stuff off what I call auditioning for a wife. There's a video on the channel with that title. Look at it. So you understand what I'm talking about, okay? If he's not courting you with a definitive end game in mind, that he's able to communicate clearly to you and your parental figures, and he can show bank books, he can show proof that this is what's going on, and this is what your role gonna be in this whole scenario that he's setting up, then what you doing? Why are you taking yourself off the market for that? You should be dating around until you find a dude who is serious. That's what dating's for. It's not just to take the first chump that comes along because he says he likes you. So what, he likes you? Like I said, how is him liking you benefiting you? It's benefiting him. It ain't doing shit for me for you to like me. Get out of here. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but yeah, you look for consistency and you look for a man who's a man of his word. He says he's going to do something, he does it. That to me is one of the first criteria for even taking a dude seriously. He's a man of his word, he's a man of honor, integrity. If he cannot even do that, like tell you I'm gonna be here at such a time and he don't show up, tell you I'm gonna call you at the time and he don't show up, tell you I'm gonna take care of this baby and then he don't do it, I'm done. When I was young, I used to like to, I'm not saying I liked it, but you be a little bit more flexible. You be a little bit more flexible and you give people more chances. By the time I hit 30, all chances was a wrap. I'm not doing that no more. I give you a chance. You don't know how to act as a grown man. I'm done with you. So anyway, I just wanted to answer that question for her. And that guy, I found that little dude on TikTok, and it totally kind of encapsulated what I was talking about. Okay. Yep. The pair and the spare, I'm trying to tell you. And you don't release that. I mean, dude, I mean, I've been so blunt as to ask a man, okay, you've been kicking it with him for, I don't know, a month. They always be in a rush, right? They want to just nail you down. They be in a rush. 2-3 weeks a month. And they're like, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend. I was like, that's interesting. Why should I do that? And there's no problem with you asking that. Why should I do that? How's that going to benefit me? He should have an answer. If you don't have one, they just sit there looking at you like a bump on a log. Well, then you say, well, I don't think I'm going to be doing all of that. I enjoy spending time with you, but that's all I'm going to commit to. Okay? That's your right. Just because a dude tells you that he likes you, you don't even have to accept a marriage proposal. He wants to propose. He says, well, let's get married. You have the right to say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't see you as my husband material. I don't want to be married right now. I have things I want to do. I mean, whatever is your, situation. But you don't have to, just because he's talking about something, you don't have to accept it. And that's the thing I think a lot of girls don't really understand. They don't understand that they had that kind of power over their own lives. God, why am I coughing so much? I know why, because I'm still sick. Yeah, I don't have time for that crap. What you doing? What you doing? You coming in the door, but what are you doing? And I just, and Anna, I just have to reiterate. The young lady who asked the question, and I showed a little bit ago, this one. What will stop a man? I'm trying to understand why y'all think being his girlfriend is going to stop him from doing anything. The only person that's going to stop from doing something is you. And that's the whole point of you being a girlfriend. Because you guys take it seriously and you want to lock yourselves down. And they're like, I ain't married. You just a girlfriend. See the difference in perspective there? I'm trying to get you guys to understand how men think. And if you got a guy who's serious about you, he's not going to want to waste a whole bunch of time, years and years, with you being a, quote, girlfriend. He's going to be trying to wife you up. Okay? So keep that in mind as we move forward through this. Okay, I have a couple of more videos that I ran into. Hold on a second. I muted my mic this time because I can feel it coming on. All right, let me show this other one. And you know how I talk about the dangers of labeling your kids' interests and behaviors? This thing where the people want to label everybody who, like a little girl who what we used to call a tomboy, she want to wear, overalls or something and skate and ride bikes and climb trees and do all the stuff, play sports and stuff like the boys do. I mean, if that was the case, then I would have been trans a long time ago because, you have 3 brothers and it's just you as the only girl. I mean, my oldest brother, the youngest brother sometimes would play, dolls and teacups and stuff with me. But, he was just like a baby. I mean, he didn't know the difference about boy, girl, nothing. He's just doing it because he wanted to be with me. But I'm saying if under the society that we have right now, the things that I used to enjoy doing with my brothers and the hobbies and interests that I had, would have been when labeled trans, right? Or you're trans. You're supposed to be a boy. And I came across this, and I wanted to show you this young man's epiphany.
This one time I was working and the model brought her boyfriend on set. So while I was doing her makeup, he was like, man, I bet girls like dating you, you know, because they get their makeup done and everything. And I was like, I don't really date girls. I'm gay, you know? And he was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like it was nothing. So later on, we're watching the girls work and we end up starting conversation again. And he was like, hey, if you don't mind me asking you, when did you know you were gay? How did you know you were gay? You know? And I was like, ever since I could remember, man. I was like, I always had a better time with, you know, around girls, and I liked playing with dolls. And he was like, well, just because a boy likes playing with dolls doesn't make him gay. And I was like, I agree. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I was like, but I also, you know, I always just liked makeup and hair stuff. And he was like, well, that doesn't make you gay. That makes you an artist. And I was just kind of like, am I not gay? Have I been straight this whole fucking time?
But see what I mean? People need to stop with this. They need to stop with this and stop pushing this on kids. Just let them be. Okay, just let them explore life. Let them just be creative. Let them dress the way they want to. It's not hurting nobody. You know what I mean? It's just, but this, I mean, that, it did that. I don't even know. It was like magic. What they say, you know, the universe brings you things that you need. Everything that I was thinking about, I'm just scrolling through TikTok or, you know, Instagram or whatever, like I usually do. I mean, I usually don't find anything that totally relates to what I wanted to talk about tonight. But this morning, between 2 and 4 a.m., I'm laying in bed, bored out of my mind. And then I find these things that I'm showing you. They just fell into my lap. And I thought it was meant for me to show these things as an example of what I'm talking about so that people understand my position on this. Stop pushing kids, putting kids in an envelope. Okay, just let them be there. Just let them be. And if they come to you and they say, well, I think I'm a boy, why do you think that? A little girl says that. Why do you think that? Where's that idea coming from? What is it that you are perceiving about yourself that makes you think that you can't still be a girl and enjoy those activities? Let's talk about that. Why do more parents do that? Just let your kids explore things. Just let them, you know, just let them be. Stop labeling them. Stop pigeonholing them. Just let them go. Just let them be who they are and experience life in all its myriad forms and just be cool. Okay, let me get over to the comments and see what y'all are talking about here. She's like, oh my God. And she's still the girlfriend. She tripping. That's good, Anna. That's how you should do it. You don't want to shack up with nobody. Unfortunately, a lot of young ladies seem to think that if they move in with a guy that is meaningful, that it's like some kind of, I don't know, rung on a ladder of importance or something. I'm not sure what they be thinking, to tell you the truth, but it just makes no sense to me. Honey, yes, because you know why? Because you know, 'cause when you don't feel good, you go to sleep like as soon as you feel tired. So I think I went to bed about, I don't know, 6:30. Woke up at, you know, 2 a.m. and I'm like, I done got my 8. I'm wide awake now. So I'm, you know, 'cause I have nothing else to do. A lot of them are funny. I'm laughing and stuff and just having myself a good old entertaining time. It was crazy. But I did find something that was useful. Yes, I've seen that. The parents don't even know. That's why you got to be all up in your kid's school. But maybe I had that flexibility because when my daughter was in school, I worked as a trainer. So I could book, you know, I had my own scheduling privileges. So if I wanted to go to her school without them knowing, I would just say, oh, you know, so-and-so who's my 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock client, you know, I need to switch you to another day. Are you amenable? Because I need to hit up my daughter's school right quick. So I just pop up. They never knew when I was coming. I just show it and I sit in the back of the class and listen. What y'all talking about? Let me see these books. Let me see. Yeah, the PTA meetings are good, but those are kind of scripted. You need to see, they're only going to tell you what they want you to know in the PTA meeting. I mean, that's not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but you need to do more if you want to see what your kids are really hearing and really reading and what's really going on in the classroom. You need to be in the classroom. So yeah, honey, I was bad at that. I just popped the fuck up and they'd be like, oh my God, are you here again? Yep, I sure am. And they can't tell you no. Yeah, I saw that, but I don't know. We talk about stupid women having stupid babies and with stupid dudes all the time. So I didn't really want to talk about that again today. Let's talk about new stupid people. So let me show you guys another thing. Another video. Okay, now this dude right here. It's so refreshing and so different than the narrative that we usually hear from brothers about what's going on with their kids. Let me put this on here so y'all can see this too. Listen carefully.
Used to take care of him, bro. She broke up with me and got with another.
Bro, how you sound? You talking about?
Cause she not. I can't take care of the kids.
Shut that shit up, bro.
I can't take care of the kids and she with another man, bro.
Hey, dog, shut that shit up, cause you pissing me off, bro. I damn near ain't gonna want to my car because I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, bro, you talking about? It is that serious, bro. Like, don't condone this shit, bro. He telling me right now, this man telling me right now he ain't taking care of his kids because his baby mama got a new boyfriend.
Listen, bro.
Nigga, who cares?
Bro, I'm saying,
who cares?
Bro,
who cares?
I'm trying to explain it to you, though, bro.
Bro, it ain't no.
Why do you care about? Why you care so much for him?
This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, you dumb too if you believe the fact this man just said out his own mouth, I ain't taking care of my kids because my baby mama got a new boyfriend.
She posted a picture, bro. She posted a picture with her and the dude and my kids, bro, on Facebook, bro.
Who give a f, bro? This ain't about the
man. That hurt my feelings,
bro. It's about your kids, bro. Bro, you sound like emotional ass. You sound like a soft ass, emotional ass right now, bro. You mad about you mad at the it ain't about your kids, bro. Don't tell me what to turn. I might not. You about to get out this motherfucker in a minute, bro.
Nah, you want to kick me out?
Cause you gotta fix that shit, bro. You gotta fix that shit, bro. Like, ain't no way you come sit up here and tell me, bro. I'm not gonna be friends with no man that don't take care of their kids. That bullshit ass excuse, bro. You ain't talking about shit right now.
But
he grown, bro. Like, if you don't want to take care of
take care of my kid, you talk to her?
Bro, no, you telling me. Every time I ask you gonna get your kid, like, no, I ain't gonna pick them up. She with that.
Some weak ass shit, bro.
You tell
she cheated on me with this man, bro. I'm hurt, bro.
Bro, f all that, bro. At the end of the day, so your kid's gonna suffer because you mad about another that shit happens every day.
Bro, that shit ain't cool.
That shit happen every day. Bro, that shit happen every day, bro. Ain't no fucking excuse about you not taking care of your kids. Oh, she took a picture with my kids. Like,
that shit weak, bro. That shit over, bro.
Okay, I understand it's weak, bro, but that don't mean shit, bro. Like, you acting like a ass right now. Like,
I'm acting like a bro.
You acting like a ass. You acting like a ass, bro.
Johnny,
you acting like a ass, bro.
Johnny, if you got kids with a right? If you got kids with a you taking care of your kids, and then you come home and cheat, and then she got another. She kicked you out the house and moved this in after y'all been together for 3 years, bro.
Man, shut up, bro. Shut up talking that shit.
Bro, you sound
You're not finna. You sound dumb. You ain't finna talk that shit in my car.
You take care of me.
They ain't my kids. I would too. I would. You know why? Cause you was my. You don't want to take care of your kids.
Here,
you a bum, dog. You a bum ass for that, bro. You a bum ass. You said you just like the rest of these bum ass. You just like these bitter ass, sensitive ass busted bro. I don't give a bro. Like, I don't got no respect for you no more. I have zero respect for you no more, bro.
Stopping,
bro. My mama, cause you can get the out my car.
You gonna stop me out?
Bro, you can get the out my car.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
Out my car.
We in the middle of shit, bro.
We can box. Bro, we can box to get out my car. Yeah.
Where we at, bro?
Bro, I don't give a middle. I don't give a get out my car.
I swear to God, get out my car. Mama, I'ma see you.
Yeah.
I'ma see you.
Yeah, you can see me now. You can see me tomorrow.
You gonna kick me out in the middle? I don't know where I live.
I don't give a. I'm not cool with no. Don't take care of their kids. Talking about with another. You ain't taking care of your kids.
Bro, you don't understand, bro.
Stop, bro. Get the out my car.
Bro,
I'm asking you nicely, bro. Get the out my car.
In the middle.
Get the out my car, man.
So how am I gonna get back home?
Get the fuck. I don't give a fuck. And this back here condoning that shit.
No, I ain't condoning shit.
So why I care?
I gotta chill.
You said they want to be cool.
Gotta chill,
bro. Shut my get the fuck out of my car, bro. You should have been condoning that shit.
I ain't condoning that shit, bro.
Condoning that shit, bro.
We in the middle of shit.
I'm not gonna kick it with no. Look at this bum ass, bro. He deserved what? He deserved what?
That's fucked up, bro. He in the middle of shit.
Go take care of your kids.
Whoever this guy is, I just love him. I just want to find him and give him the biggest bottle of hen and a round of applause and a cake and a parade and balloons and all kind of stuff. See, that's a man right there. That is a man that loves his kids and respects his children and feels the responsibility of a father to make sure his kids are okay. The one in the side seat that he kicked out, straight bum, like he said, he's a bum. The one in the back seat, a bum too, because he's trying to cover for dude. Man, just chill. It ain't that serious. It is that serious. It's that serious. You're talking about some little people that are doing without because he mad and all in his sensitive feelings. That's what I thought, Devonda. I was like, what? I had to play that shit 3 times. And then I said, I'm going to show it to y'all. And he kicked him out of his car. He's like, he walking now. Yeah, this nigga deserved to walk. I was like, oh, he sound like me though. That's all right. Yeah, he cut him straight off and got rid of him and taught him all kind of names and how emotional he was and stuff. That hurt me. That hurt me. So, it's the kind of thing like the dude that was driving. If that man who was in the side seat had a father who talked to him like that, he wouldn't have turned out like the little bitch that he is. Emotional little bitch. Crying about, I'm not going to take. So he going to take out his anger because he got his little feels hurt on the kids. Raggedy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have tossed them both out of my cars. Like both of y'all hitchhike, whatever way, ride the back of a dolphin. I don't care how you get home. If you ain't coming with me, using up my $5 gallon gas, get out. Yes, I just wanted you guys to see that because I thought that was just so wonderful and just such a different narrative than what we usually hear out of the mouths of so many men these days. Brothers be just like the one in the side seat, mad. And so the kids suffer for it when they were the innocent parties in this. They had nothing to do with what y'all adults were doing. Cheating, lying, corner, whatever. They didn't. Did they do it? So why do they have to be hungry and miss out on stuff? Because you mad. Yeah. Well, he might do that, glassy eyes, but the dude that's driving really just don't give a damn. Why can't she be with another dude? He's trash. Don't you see why she dumped him? Do you see why she got rid of his emotional, whiny baby ass? I would have got rid of him too. So, and she could be with another man because why? Why? Because she ain't married. She's single. So there's nothing wrong with her being with someone else. That's just how it goes. I'm not sure, I don't know how much she has. He said he's had a picture with him with the kids, but it's like, guess what? If you had acted right, then you would have been in the picture with your kids. But see, you don't want to act right. So I don't know what to say. Yep, when you single, you gonna date other people. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Yeah, lost all respect. I know that was just like, ooh, savage. Now I just want you guys to see that. So anyway, I have some other things to talk about too, but let's talk about what you want to talk about. It's your show. Friday night free for all. The relationship or whatever, small talk. Don't have to be just relationships, whatever. Exactly. Talking about if we were together for 3 years. Clown. You don't know in 3 years and a couple of kids that's your woman and you want to be with her. You just going to do this dating thing endlessly. See, that's the thing that kills me. But you can tell by the way that he's dressed, he ain't about nothing. Who looks like that? Pants all down and stuff. That's something little teenagers do. Oh, okay. Sorry, glassy guys. I missed. You know, that's the bad thing about when you see something like that, you don't understand what the point is. But yes, I got you. How's he supposed to get home? He's take your kids and then find your way home like that. I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious, and I thought that the driver is just like, woo, fire. He's fire. So what? Oh, you know what I found? Okay, who has sent me this? I think this was Vanna. Sent me this article that I thought was kind of interesting. Now, you know, admittedly, the culture in South Korea is somewhat, I don't know, kind of a, male dominated kind of culture. But check this out. Oh, really? Are we going over there, Mika? We going over there to whip somebody booty? I'm down for a fight. I'm just, especially when I'm sick, I just hate everybody. So it'd be great to have somebody that did something they shouldn't have done to vent my anger on. Girl, just let me know. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Okay, so look at this. This article says South Korea's middle-aged men are dying, quote, lonely deaths. So those of you who are middle-aged and you're looking for a husband, that might be a good place to go. You're going to have to cook and stuff, though, but, don't you do that anyway? And you can have your husband. Okay, so let me read some of this. This was from CNN. It says South Korea has a problem. Thousands of people, many middle-aged and isolated, are dying alone each year, often going undiscovered for days or weeks. Oh, man. That means if they had kids and stuff, the neighbors, something is up. The issue has gained national attention over the past decade as the number of lonely deaths increased. Factors behind the trend include the country's demographic crisis, gaps in social welfare, poverty, and social isolation, all of which become more pronounced since COVID. Last year, the country recorded 3,378 such deaths, up from 2,412 in 2017, according to a report recently released by the Ministry of Welfare and Health. So they enacted something in 2021 called the Lonely Death Prevention and Management Act, under which updates are required every 5 years to help establish policies to prevent lonely deaths. The number of men suffering lonely deaths was 5.3 times higher than that of women in 2021. People in their 50s and 60s made up 60% of lonely deaths, with a large number in their 40s and 70s as well. 40s even? People in their 20s and 30s accounted for 6% to 8%. The report did not explore possible causes, but the phenomenon has been studied for years as authorities try to understand what drives these lonely deaths and how to better support vulnerable people. This is really interesting. Yeah, the birth rate is dropping, so the population is aging. So most likely, this is, going to be a trend that continues because these people are having less kids, so they won't have anybody coming to check on them. It says one case involved a 64-year-old laborer who died from alcohol-related liver disease a year after losing his job due to disability. He had no education, family, or even a pet. Wow. So I guess nobody thought to check on dude, not even his neighbors. That's kind of messed up. But what do you think about that? And how do you think, as the population in this country ages, that could become something that happens here? I don't know. People tend to be a little bit more nosy around here, though. They're going to be knocking on your door saying, well, what's going on? Where are you at? That's an interesting thing, though. I'm going to send that to my friends over in social services and be trying to develop programs. It's, something to possibly, something to check on people or something once a week, every 3 days, something like that. That's could be interesting. Sometimes somebody's men deserve that stuff. Well, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying, it's not going to be limited to men, and it doesn't seem to be limited to any specific age group, though it seems to be concentrated in people in their 50s and 60s. As you just heard, it's not limited to them. So, this affects people across all kinds of situations, I would imagine. But the thing is that nobody's missing them, so that they are allowed to die alone in their apartments and stuff, and nobody thinks about them for weeks at a time. That's kind of fucked up. So anyway, so that's one of my stories. Anybody got something that's a little bit more lively and positive to talk about? I just thought that was interesting because, it just was. It was just an interesting thing to just show how societies are changing, because that's a traditionally family-oriented culture. And if that's happening there and in growing numbers, what does that mean for us who are very segmented and separated and not really too bothered about each other? I thought, this has implications for wide-scale problems. That's why I brought it up. Yeah. Especially if you live next to if anybody in your neighborhood is a Karen, you don't have to worry about they're going to find you within hours. So if you're like, I haven't seen so-and-so, and they're going to be beating on your door saying, why haven't I seen you? So anybody got something that you want to talk about? Some burning issue? Yeah, I'm with you too, Lacey. As the population ages, that's definitely, what's going on here. All the baby boomers are getting older, and a lot of them don't have kids. Or the kids are, estranged or doing whatever they're doing. Let's see what Anna's talking about. What do you think will start to happen since women are choosing to stay single? Do you think we may start to see men becoming more violent towards women? No, that's already happening. When you have a combination of a group of men who feel entitled to women's bodies, time, attention, and resources, and I mean, it doesn't have to be resources like money. I mean, like your resources, like your ability to cook, your ability to clean, your womb, to bear him children. If you have guys who feel entitled to that simply because they're male, and you deny that to them, and they feel like, well, yeah, why not? I deserve it. Now, I've never really understood what their comment about I deserve it is based on, though. I've never been able to get a clear answer out of any of them, other than, well, I'm a man. Okay, but but that's the answer they tend to give. And so, Anna, just think about this, though. A guy asks you for your phone number. You walking down the street, and a guy asks you for your number. And you say, no, thank you. Or, I got a man, or, whatever excuse you use. And you are not interested, something like that. The first thing that a lot of them will do is going to say, well, nobody was trying to talk to you anyway, you ugly bee. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Some of them react worse and they want to get physical. That's small scale stuff. And that's been happening. I mean, that's like from the 80s and 90s. So, what men don't understand is, though, the more they act like that, the less likely a woman is to want to be with them. So they're creating this conundrum where they act a fool. We see them act a fool. We don't want to be with them because they're acting a fool. And then they get mad because we don't want to be with them because they're acting a fool. But they're acting a fool, and we see they're acting a fool, and we don't want to be with them because they're acting a fool. You see what I mean? So they're creating this. The people with the power to make this stop and turn this around are men. But until they take responsibility for their behavior and their attitudes towards women, their attitudes towards relationships, their selfishness, their narcissism, their lack of accountability, their lack of responsibility, and their lack of forward growth and interest in achievement and doing better and more, women will have no reason to want to be with them. And that's the part that I get them. They don't seem to want to understand. You have to be just like in any sales thing. Okay, when you go on a job interview, you're selling yourself. When you go to a car dealership, they're selling you a car. When you go to a school to tour it, they're selling you their curriculum and social network, activities and culture and all this other stuff here, prestige. When you go to any place, a hotel, they're selling you on their amenities, the quietness, the quality of guests and service that they offer. Everything that you bring into your life, that you purchase or you want to absorb into your world, has to have a perceived benefit to you. That's just the way it is. Otherwise, everybody would just sleep in their car when they went on a trip, or they would camp be bitten alive by mosquitoes and stung by bees and stuff. People go to these resorts and all these fancy places because of the perception of it being a benefit to their life. So if you have a man that comes to you and he wants you to be with him, but when you look at, the basic accoutrements of manhood and responsibility and adulthood, and he doesn't meet them, but he demands that you be with him, I'm not, why, dudes? What are you bringing to her world that she will want to pick you? They don't think like that. Their fathers aren't teaching them to think like that because they ain't around. So you have all these boys who grow up thinking that they're entitled to women just because they want one. Like a bubble gum out the bubble gum machine. Well, I put in my 5 cents. Where's my bubble gum? And the girls are like, well, I'm not seeing where me being with you is going to bring me nothing that I don't already have by myself. So, no, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to lay with you. I'm not having your kids. I don't want to even go on a date with you because you're a clown. Bye-bye. And the guys get mad. But like I keep telling them, the responsibility for changing that and turning that around is to take a look at yourself. If I ask you as and I'm not trying to date you, I'm just asking you dudes that's listening to this video. You go up to a girl, she got a job just like you. She got a car, she got her own place. She's, dressed nice. She got some stuff happening. She goes on trips. She got good credit. All the stuff is going on for her. She got her little degree, whatnot. And here you come. Okay, what is it that you're going to add to her life? Where are you going to improve her existence? Are you at least going to make her happy and laugh more? Do something. There has to be something that you're offering her that she can't get for herself and doesn't already have. What is that? What is it about you that makes you so wonderful that a woman would want to stop what she's doing and bring you into her world? If you do not have an answer to that, then don't be trying to date. Don't. Fix yourself until you do have something to offer somebody. And then you can get dates and you can get a wife. You could have all kinds of wonderful things happening. But you have to realize the women today have options. The women today are not like the women in the 1800s or 1700s where they couldn't do anything without a man. It had to be either their dad, an older brother, uncle, somebody, or a husband. But them days is over, honey. So, women are kicking it by themselves these days and even exceeding men. So unless you're going to come with something that's going to benefit her life, then there's no reason for her to go out with you. There's no reason for her to be your girlfriend. There's no reason for her to marry you. There's no reason for you, even if she does marry you, to stay with you. So you all think about that. As soon as you get yourself together, then you can do better. But until you admit that you ain't up to par, then there you go. Yeah, exactly. They feel like it's not embedded in them. They just hear it from other fools, and so they adopt it. But yeah, that's what I said. They just feel this sense of entitlement without doing anything. Why are so many women settling for baby mama status? My friend just told me that she's pregnant by her 5-year living boyfriend. Dude ain't about nothing. It's so sad. Yeah, well, your friend is stupid. What you want me to say, Maya? She got away with she was free until that happened. 5 years was too long, but she could have deuced out with no baby at that 4.5-year mark and went on about her business. But now she's going to be messed up and stuck with him because she's going to have to deal with child support and custody and visitation and who knows, and hope the kid come out healthy. Don't have a special needs kid. See, then that brings a whole new world of drama, and that's what's happening a lot these days. I'm not sure why, but a lot of these little kids have problems. And then here come, that's even more drama and stress on her. What are your thoughts on finding female friends? Is vetting similar to dating men? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to think about, people use the term friends loosely. You can have acquaintances. When I was young, I used to have what I called my road dogs, girls I just ripped and ran with. We went to clubs, parties. I had a friend who worked for Continental Airlines. We went all over the world on the buddy passes that she used to be able to get. I had to pay the tax for the flight. Usually for U.S. flights, it was around $50. And we just did everything. Just my youth was fun. That's all I'm gonna say. I had a good time. So I don't miss any of that stuff now. I got all of my system. But you have to, there's gonna be layers of friendships. And there's gonna be very, very few people in your life that you can bare your soul to. And that's not something that you should do right away. You should peel back like layers on an onion. Have you ever peeled an onion skin, how thin those little layers are? Not them thick chunks. I'm talking about the little skins, the little onion skin layers. They're very thin, very transparent. And you peel those off a little at a time until that person has proven that there's somebody that you can trust, and that you, of course, doing the same thing with them. But it's something that develops over a period of time. You can meet somebody and kind of vibe with them and stuff, and they can definitely become part of your circle. But are they going to be on the inner circle? That's the part that you have to be cautious about. But yeah, you could just have a whole bunch of road dogs like I did. They wasn't used good for nothing. All we did was club and travel and talk shit and go play. That's all we did. We talk about men and we talk about our jobs. And it's just very superficial stuff. We go shopping together. We eat out together. We go to movies and, just stuff like that. They were just, I guess acquaintances is the word that would probably apply really well, except we didn't really like hang out at each other's houses, nothing like that. We were together for activities. And when those activities were ceased, then we parted ways and we didn't get together till the next activity. And that's why I called them my road dogs. Say, yeah, girl, I'm getting ready to go over here and there. You want to go? You want to roll? Yeah, pick me up, or I'll come over to your house and we can ride in my car. You ride in your car or something. That was it. Let's see. We have another question. What do you think about just having a male friend? Oh, like a booty call dude? Imagine having a boyfriend of my age. If you can handle it. Just be careful with that, because I'm not one to tell women what to do. We used to call that the maintenance man. He'd come over and clean out pipes and stuff. But as long as you can keep, you want to be friendly with dude, but if he decides he want to date somebody, or you find out he's over with somewhere else and that you're not going to flip the fuck out, then you can do it. But if you tend to be a kind of possessive type of woman that wants to stake a claim, or you get your feelings involved real easily and stuff like that, then that's not for you. It may sound good, like a good solution, but you have to know yourself as a woman. Are you able to cut your feelings off at the drop of a hat? Are you able to limit yourself? Do you have a lot of self-control? If you don't have any of those things working, or you struggle with that kind of stuff, don't do it. You're going to mess yourself up. It's not going to work for you. Wait, somebody asked a question? Sorry, I must have missed them. Let me scroll up. Oh, Susu. Okay, I see it now. Is it considered probably if y'all don't be sleeping with one person? Just regular dating seems like different guys over too. Why you got to put a label on it? Didn't we just talk about all them labels? That's called a pair and a spare dating program. Okay? You don't have to be fancy with it. Don't have to be all this old poly whatever. You dating, girl, you single. You do what you want to do. whoever you want to do it with. You don't have to put a label on it. You have to tag yourself, and you don't have to feel bad about what you do. You're a single woman. Do what the hell you want to do. I just don't believe in all that all these labels. You just do what you want to do. And if you want to be a garden tool and sleep with 10 different dudes, then you do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to say don't do it. I'm just saying do it sensibly and, do it safely. Don't be showing up pregnant. Don't do that. Exactly, Button. Different fins for different things. That's exactly it. But all of them fall under the category of road dogs. Because, it's not going to be the kind of person you sitting up there telling your intimate health details to, and your dreams and your, future goals and your health crises and your, traumas from childhood and stuff. They don't play that role. They play in that position in your life. They're there for the good times. And that's the same way I feel like a boyfriend is to be there for a good time. If I'm not having a good time with you, I don't want you here. You had to kick a chick out your car? Child, that sounds juicy. What happened? Uh-oh, Giggles got a little fire in her. Usually she'd be over here giggling and we just be having a good time with us. And uh-oh, we get to see a new side of her. Yeah, X, think about that. Think about that. Really? I mean, serious. I don't like to tell people what to do. What I do is make sure that you make an informed decision. So when people present stuff like that to me, I say, okay, that's, you could do that, but make sure this, and this, all these little ducks right here is in a row before you make that move. And seriously, if you can't do it, then don't. Me, it's like, like me and my cousin Joy that y'all, we don't give a fuck. It's like, if the D ain't good, you can't stay here. But as far as you, if it's good, then you could come back. Otherwise, boop. Don't lose my number, because that was some trash dick and ain't nobody trying to be bothered with you again. Yeah. Yeah, when you go on a girls' trip, you could go with one person, but she got to be just as much of you all have to be equal level garden tools. Let me put it that way. Don't be going on a girls' trip and you got somebody who's going to be sitting up there reading the Bible every night while you want to hit all the clubs. Don't do that. Y'all have to be on the same page. Is you both going to be in their house reading the Bible? Or are you both going to be out in the club shaking your ass in the skimpiest clothes you can possibly buy and still be considered, decent? You got to figure that out. But yeah, you can do that. It don't matter, but you set up some policies, because my policy was always, if we come together, we leave together. Ain't gonna be none of this you going off with some random dude, and we don't play that. So all my girlfriends knew that was a rule. If you ride with me in my car, you're going to come back to my house or wherever I picked you up at. If I picked you up at your house, I'm gonna drop you off there. If you want dude to follow you to your house, that's all good. But I always felt a responsibility to my friends, people I care about. I'm going to deliver you. I'm going to take you back where I got you from in one piece, safely. That's the rule. So everybody knew once you got in my car, you wasn't getting out until I brought you back to where you were. And that's it. Don't come asking me, I'm going to go over here with it. No, you're not. You're going to take your ass to my car with us and you're going to go home like that. And a couple of them tried to test like they didn't believe me or something. I'm like, no, that's it. If you insist on doing this, we're not going out again, ever. And so they'd be like, oh, I guess she's serious. Yeah, I'm just saying, people, whatever they be, people want to read their scriptures or do their prayers or whatever people be doing. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. You got to be the same. You got to be on the same level of wholeness, okay? Or it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, anybody else got a question? Let me see what else I printed out over here. That might be of interest to y'all. What is this? Oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. I was going to talk about this, but it's too depressing. I don't feel like talking about that. So I'm going to. Okay, this sounds interesting. Let me do this, and then you're going to be next 10, 10, 25. You'll be next. When the time is right, are us women supposed to provide humor and support to men? Well, I mean, as a friend, the same, I do it like it's not really men or women. It's if you're my friend, then I'm going to provide that to you as much as I feel like being bothered with you. Like for some people, even on jobs that I've liked, they come with you a question, about their personal life and stuff. If I feel like it, I'll answer it. I mean, it's kind of a humanity type of thing. If someone's in a crisis and I have some knowledge or something, information that could help you not be in a crisis, I would be a cruel person not to share that information with you. But does that mean I want you up in my face telling me about your problems 24/7, thinking that you're going to be calling me at night, waking me up to whine about something over and over? No. But I mean, I'll listen, that one time or so, and then we see what's going to happen here. Yeah, so, humor is something I'd make jokes with complete strangers. I'd make my little cracks and little quips and whatnot. So to me, that's just part of my personality. So I don't have to really like think about it. It just happens. But, support to men, if it's not the same kind of quote support that I would give to a female acquaintance, then he's not going to get, you're not going to get nothing special just because you're a man. And especially if you ain't what I consider to be my man, somebody I'm interested in on that level. How do you deal with friends that secretly compete with you? Well, if you know about it, how can it be a secret? I need more information. They're competing, so it's not a secret. So can you explain to me what that means? I'm a little confused. You be too lit? Yes, lit is lovely. Okay, let's hear this. Let's hear this tea. I went on a girls' trip with two women that had a boo at home. Our mutual friend couldn't join at the time. They were so adamant staying in the beach concert the entire bike weekend at Myrtle Beach, and they stayed inside. Girl, no, see, that's what I mean. You got to be on an equal level of the whole scale. You got to be. They had men at home. I mean, if all y'all have men at home and you just gonna, do whatever, like go out to lunch and then lay on the beach and do, calm things, you're still on an equal level. You see what I mean? There has to be equality of goals and life position and interest amongst the women that travel together. You either got to all be hoes or you all got to be, coupled up and booed up or whatever, and then it might work okay. But it doesn't work like if one single girl, she want to go out and the ones that's coupled up are like, oh no, girl, because Ricky about to call me and JoJo and I have to be home. I need to be here to take the call. No, well, y'all do all that. I'm gone. Okay, Sliver, I can't read that. You're just a dirty bird. Let's see what Giggle's talking about. She's a workout partner. Oh. Whoa. Oh. Is she going to punch you in the face? Okay, yeah, well, that's an ex-friend, right? That's an ex-friend, correct? She ain't your friend no more. You don't let nobody talk to you like that. It's like, bitch, I hope he punches you in the face and knocks your ass into a coma. Don't think about even calling me. You better tell your relatives if that happens not to call me, and I'm not coming to your funeral either. Yeah. Uh-oh, Lisa getting like indoctrinated, baptized with the girl. Yeah, we be having it going on these shows. Usually we're a little more calm than this, but this is a free for all. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, girl. See, yeah. See, too bad I didn't go with you because we would have never been up in there except when it was time to shower and change and maybe catch a nap. Because I don't know. I'm just like, whew, Myrtle Beach is fun. I haven't been there in a long time, but oof. Oh, the memories. That friend over here used to be all over the place. Thanks, Giggles. I saw that. I was like, damn. Okay, here's the narcissist. I'm 24. I don't know if I want to be married. You know what? It's pressure on you to get, okay, I'm going to say this, sweetie. I'm going to say this. Okay, I know this is hard because the cultural influence, and that's just really, that's challenging. But I'm going to say here, I'm going to say this. You have my full support to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay, do not let people pressure you into doing anything. You don't have to get married. You don't have to sleep with nobody. You don't have to have a kid. You don't have to do anything. Okay, you do what you want to do. What's going to make you happy, that's going to fulfill you in your life, because it's the life that you were given to live. Nobody's going to live it for you. You want to do what I'm telling you is important. So that when you get up every morning and you look at the woman that's looking back at you in the mirror, you have to be able to give her a big smile, 2 thumbs up, and say, do the damn thing, girl. 3 snaps in Z formation. That's from the 90s for you youngsters who may not know that. I think of all the years that I wasted. And it was, in retrospect, it really wasn't that long, but I mean, there's a time when, as a young girl, you realize that the programming that's been given to you about what a girl should do and should be, and how you should dress, and what your goals should be, and how you should find a boyfriend, and how you should get married, and how you should have a kid, and you should be somebody's mother, and you should do all these shoulds that they load onto girls. It drives me crazy. So that, you feel like by the time you do go through that and you wake up and you realize, there's a video on this channel about that, when you realize that motherhood ain't all that. It's not just motherhood. When a girl reaches a certain point in life and she wakes up out of that fugue state and realizes that she's been pushed into a life and into making choices that weren't what she wanted, you feel such rage and resentment. And that's why a lot of women walk off and leave their men and their kids. They leave them. They just go. And a lot of, the kids don't understand it. And I've tried, when I run into people like that, try to explain it to them. You don't understand what that woman has gone through as a girl, what she had to overcome in order to find her true self. And when she did find herself, she realized that the roles that were pushed on her and the way that she was forced to live her life were not what she wanted. It wasn't what she wanted. It's not who she is. The first person who I knew, public figure who did that was Alice Walker. Remember some years ago how her daughter was all over talking about, complaining about how her mother left her with her daddy? The daddy was rich and the daddy was white. Okay, your ass was not suffering. Shut up. But Alice realized that this whole mama thing wasn't for her. It wasn't for her. And she had enough courage to leave it behind. And man, she got dragged. This was, way, 20 years ago, 30 years ago when that happened. And it was like all over the news. The girl was making the talk show circuit and all this stuff. And, dragging Alice. And I was like fully in her corner because I understood. I understood what she went through and how she was feeling. It's not, it's not for everyone. And people always think, well, women are more nurturing. No, they're not. We are not. Some are, but I've met some men who are more nurturing than any woman I've ever met. They would make a great mom, but they happen to be male, so they become a great dad instead. It's no big deal. Okay, here you go. So she explained it right here. When they throw jabs at you and try to come up one up you all the time. You know what? When you have friends like that, you unfriend them. 1025, you need to make new friends. What you have around you, my dear, are a bunch of insecure bitches. And when they're insecure, they feel threatened by you. So in order to make themselves feel better, they throw these little lugs at you. And it's just like, I don't know, this dude I met, and he was like, well, you think you all that because blah, 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 blah. I said, well, no, I don't. But obviously you do, because that's why you just said that, what you said. You think that I'm all that, right? You think that. Never really crossed my mind, but I guess you're right. You know, I don't know what to tell you. So when they get started with stuff like that, that's your choice. If you have the tongue that I have, the mouth I have, then you would, just fire back and say, "Oh, it's the insecure bitch. Shut up." But if you don't want to do that, then you just say, "Well, the way that you guys communicate with me is very negative. It seems to be that you feeling some kind of way about the achievements that I'm making. And I don't want people like that in my life. I want people who, cheer me on and support me. So this friendship has obviously run its course. How old are you? 1025. If you don't mind me asking your age, please type it in there. Let me know. Let me scroll down so I don't miss it. She was bipolar. You don't want to deal with that crazy bitch. Okay, I'm waiting to see what 1024, 1020, what is it? 24, 25, 1025. What you going to say about your age? I'm waiting to hear. Because I need to know. Now, I've met people who are bipolar, and they're like, hey, bipolar. I'm like, yeah, well, you ain't going to be around me. I'll tell you that. Okay. Yeah, I got that 1025, but I need to know how old you are. That's going to be an important point. I'm scrolling down to see if I see it. Wow, y'all really have a lot of stuff here. You're welcome, African Queen. Have the courage. Oh, look at this, y'all. What did I always say about the age of 27, 28? Man, I've been saying this. I just thought to ask you that. 10, girl, you at the age. I've always say this on the show. Right around that 27, 28 year mark is when women change friends. You change and your friends have to change too. You right in there. This is just classic. I can't even tell you how many hundreds of thousands of times I've talked about this on various platforms. Don't feel bad. This is just a natural part of your evolution into who you're going to be as a woman. What you have to do now, these people have been your friends up until this point. They're no longer qualified to be your friends. So you start easing them out. I don't know how you want to do it. I just like to do the cold turkey, but everybody's not like me. You might want to start declining so many invitations with them. Be busy, have to work. I mean, stuff like that. So you start putting more space between you. If they want to call you and talk and stuff, say, well, girl, only got a few minutes because blah, blah, blah. And you get off the phone. They want to text you, don't respond. You start doing like how dudes do women when they want to, back you up and, kind of sneak out the relationship. You do them like that. And get these people out of your out your circle. Yeah, well, the change is happening with you. The people that they'll go through their own metamorphosis when they get your age. But right now, that is what's going on with you. It is to be expected. It is a natural part of your evolution into adult womanhood, and don't feel bad about it. Yeah, I saw it, Diva, but you guys have typed so much, I have to scroll down. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any questions too. What's she talking about? You have a man who wants you to be a good girlfriend without the wife title, and when you break up, then because you putting yourself first, it hurts your channel. I understand. Girl, don't worry about him. Of course they're going to say that, you putting yourself first is a problem and how it hurts them. Of course they're going to say that. How else can they guilt trip you and coerce you back into the relationship where you're not getting nothing and he's getting everything? How else can he do that unless he fills out the guilt card? Gaslights you. Typical. So you just stay where you are. You did good. I have telling you, Sliver. I've been saying for years. I've been saying this, like 30 years. Before she was even born, I've been saying this. But this is what happens. Yep. And the other time is in your mid-30s, about 7 years later. 28, 7 more years, 35. Yep. And then after that, you're pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have any friends that I used to have in my 20s either. And y'all would have swore. I mean, I just thought we was going to grow old together and all this old stuff here, but that didn't happen. Yeah, you're so welcome. So just settle into that reality. Don't feel bad about it. Just accept that this is just what happens, okay? But you don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be around people like that. Because you need to be around people who are going to be celebrating you, uplifting you, marveling at your achievements and big upping you and giving you applause and asking what they can do to help you get to the next level. You don't want to be around some insecure, jealous hoes. And that's what they are. So just get rid of them. Yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, if I had any one thing to say, it would definitely be that don't be having those clowns, baby. And 2, do not get stuck in that baby mama girlfriend trap. It's a trap. It's just the way to use you. And you thinking you getting something, moving in with them and all sorts of stuff here. That's just stupid. Stay in your own house. At 35, the same thing, sparkly unicorn. So your friends, like you might make some new friends at 28, but she's going to continue changing. You continue changing. You continue growing. A lot of women get married. Some women were already married. They get a divorce. They finish grad school. I mean, different life things happen in that 28 to 35 period. So you change again. So each decade, each 7 to 8 years or so, you change remarkably. Just think about it from 1 to 7, how much you change, right? 1 to 8, something like that. Okay, then from between 8 to 16, didn't you change a lot? 18, to 17 or so, to 16, whatever, to 21 or so. And then at 28, because 21, you in college, you doing all the stuff, you having a good time, you party, you ain't thinking about nothing serious. Then you get a little more serious, right? But you still have a lot of friends that you used to have from your party hangout days. Well, that ain't you no more. Your mind has changed, but they haven't changed to match your pace. So they got to go. So then you have a new circle of friends. You got new goals. You're doing new things. You're trying out new things about yourself. You're making new achievements. So you're going to bring different people into your circle, right? Different life goals are going to be accomplished. And then right around the time you're 35, you'll see that things change again. Then you pretty much stay pretty even till maybe about 50. And then things change again. What's the best way to do that? I think, joining clubs of interest, things of interest are always good. Classes are good. And it don't have to be like university courses. It can be those learning center type things, community college type courses that people just take because they're interested in them. You'll meet all kinds of people, older people, younger people, and don't think that just because somebody's like, you meet somebody who's like my age maybe or older, and they're thinking, oh my God, that person's too old to be a friend of mine. They're very interesting people, and they have grandsons and granddaughters, nieces and nephews, little sisters, cousins. So don't sleep on that. Talk to everybody, no matter what age they are, because they might say, well, my granddaughters, you guys would be great friends. I want you to come over so you can meet her. She's like in her 70s or something. You meet the granddaughter, and she's the same age as you, and y'all hit it off, and now you got you a new friend. So I mean, it's just when opportunities present themselves for you to meet new people, take them, take advantage of them. Go to as many places as you feel comfortable going. And then when people want to introduce you to people, meet them. Nobody's saying you got to marry them to be their buddy or see them ever again. But, take advantage of those opportunities. They want to be friends. We talked about this. You do be friendly, but the stuff that you tell them has to be very superficial stuff. Okay, you don't tell them personal details about yourself, personal details about your family, your relatives, your exes, your boyfriends, your current relationship. You don't tell them stuff like that. You talk about your dog, you talk about your cat, you talk about where you went on vacation and what you saw. You talk about what you read online, or you can talk about what you heard on this show. You could talk about, I don't know, what's on TV, some movie that you saw and how good it was and how it paralleled life. And ask them what their opinion is. News articles, all kind of stuff, magazines and shit. I mean, just chit chat, bullshit. You don't talk about intimate, important things about your life, your bad credit, the bankruptcy you had, how you found a cyst on your breast. You don't talk about stuff like that at work. How your boyfriend has ED, or you think he's cheating on you, or you had to deal with DV in the past. You don't talk about stuff like that at work. Okay? You don't talk about that at work. A lot of women like to talk about, they're going to try to exercise programs and dieting. That's always a good popular topic. Well, how did you lose that weight? Girl, it was hard. You always want to say that. Girl, it was hard. I just was so starving. You want to make it sound like you really struggling. Because if you say, oh, it was real easy, all I did was stop doing this, they're going to hate you. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff too. Yeah, there you go. See, Devonda, that's what I'm talking about. And older women have a different perspective. As long as you're dealing with an older woman that's got some damn sense, not one of these pick-me types. They can help you navigate life and help you get over a lot of hurdles that you as a young woman would run flat up against. They can help you jump that shit. So you just keep, your stride don't change. And they say, oh yeah, well, the girl just like speed up here and then lift that leg up and go over that hurdle and you'll be all right. Yes, definitely carry yourself with class at work. Yep, need to know only. And most of them don't need to know shit. Yeah, I went to this thing one time and this was on, what's that group that we like? Meetup.com, right? I don't know, I got a bee in my bonnet. And I was looking there, I was like, oh, I'm bored. What am I going to do? So I looked on there and I saw that they had this woman only wine party thing at this restaurant, this wine bar. I jump in my car and I go over there. So, you had to register. So I put my little stuff in there, put my credit card number in there, paid a little $15. I jump in my car, drive on over there. And it's like a bunch of women. I mean, everybody was white, but me, but still they were friendly ladies. We all had young children and it was a nice evening. We just chit-chatted, bullshit around, talked about our men and stuff. I mean, I didn't want to talk about my husband dying and all that stuff and be like a killer, I didn't talk about that. But I just talked about him like he was still alive, and it made them feel comfortable, and we were all laughing and all that stuff, and it was fine. Yeah, but that was a good evening for me to spend without really being by myself. Oh, let me see what you got to say. Thanks for your advice over the years. I wish I knew before I started dating. In fact, I wish I never dated at all. Damn, Josie. The years of white lies, manipulation, and stress really hurt your health. Yes, it does. Take care. You too, sweetie. Yes, it does. Man, stress will just be like, woof. You organized a large meetup group in Dallas? Really? I like Dallas. Oh, Eventbrite? Okay. So everybody got some different ideas here for those of you looking to try to meet people. Oh, God. See, that's what I'm talking about. Certain things you just don't talk about at work. Oh, God, let me tell you about this girl. Okay. This sister at this job, you know how they had the cubicles, and they're like in different little sections and stuff. So she was like a section over, 2 sections over from where I was. But she would stand up and talk on the phone, and she was so loud, just ghetto loud. And so everybody could hear. Now, let me tell you the kind of stuff she was talking about. She was talking about her cousin whose baby daddy just got out of jail, and how he was in jail because he had beat her behind, and how she had to call the cops. It was just like, okay, we know all this business about her cousin, right? And their names and everything. She's just talking. I don't know who she was talking to. Then in another conversation, she's talking about how her mother and the mama's boyfriend got into it, and they had to call police and this and that. And she's making jokes about how these people so old and that. Then she talking about her brother and her brother baby mama and all they drag and drama. I mean, it was just a nightmare. And if she's talking about all this stuff like loud. So, I mean, everybody could hear. So I went to her supervisor and I'm like, have you paid any attention to what's going on here? I mean, she's loud and don't nobody want to hear all that about her business. And, but she's like on the phone for hours every day talking personal first phone calls. Why aren't you doing something? How could she be doing any work and she's standing up and she don't have a sit down, stand up desk. She's standing up and talking on the phone. It's like she just wanted everybody to know all the stuff or something. I don't know what her problem was. So her supervisor talked to her, so quiet down a little bit. Then it started back up again. But by then she finished. She had graduated from some law school. I'm like, ooh, you got the mouth to be a lawyer. That's for sure. Well, in California, most offices have a non-scent. You can't wear scents in the office because so many people have health issues. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was just wild. And so that's like, some people who don't have good office etiquette. And this office etiquette is important, especially for you youngsters just getting out of school, going in. Watch what you say and who you say it to. And you ain't friends with nobody. You can be friendly, but you ain't friends. Okay, be careful with that. You definitely want to be friendly, though. Like if they want to go out, for drinks or whatever, and you drink, you go hang with them or something. If you don't really drink, you just go have a glass of juice or sparkling water or something. And then you hoorah with them and then say, well, I really got to go because I got to go pick up somebody from, make up some shit. And then but you be there, 45 minutes or so. And then you get up and you go. But one thing you don't want to do is every time you get invited to something where you're going to be associating with your coworkers, especially if you got a small unit, and you always say no, don't do that. You ostracize yourself and it becomes a problem when it comes time for promotions and stuff like that. So you have to be a fine balancing act. You want to look like you're part of the team, but you don't want to be like a team leader and you don't want to be on every single event. You want it to be so that when you do show up, they all happy to see you. That's how I did. So when I show up, it was like a fucking parade. Like, oh my God, Deb's coming. And they would be so excited because I just, I space my shit out. I make my personal appearance. I come in there like, yes, no applause, no applause. Have a seat, have a seat. And that's how it was. It was like, I'm not going to everything. I got too much shit going on. I don't have time to sit around there gossiping with y'all about nothing. But you do have to go every once in a while. So, you do it like me. Just make it, I stop in for that special appearance. And then I, deuce out. I got to go. My babysitter, my something, whatever lie I'm going to come up with, I get out of there after no more than an hour. I'm not staying any longer than that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, my princess die away. It's too funny. Anybody else got questions? The main thing about going to work is if you have a son, tell your son that he's not going to be dating on the job. Can you tell your boys that? Keep your sex life and your work life separate. We get so many letters in here where dudes are like, well, I like this girl at my job. No, you don't. Okay? That's a quick way to get you a sexual harassment charge and get the fuck up out of there fired. That's what that is. You like anybody but that don't work at your job. Okay? They work at your job, that's immediately off limits. That's the best way to do it. About passport bros. Girl, first of all, let me explain something to you, Danielle, who's maybe new here and not know really where you are. What you're talking about right here is someone who does not like men like that. Okay, there's 2 points here. The passport bros coming into the country and the passport bros who trying to come out. The ones coming in, if they have an accent, I'm done. I don't want to know. You can't talk to me if you have an accent. I don't want to hear it. It's too hard for me to understand what the fuck you're talking about. Now, the ones who are always talking about they want to, they want to go somewhere and find them a woman, bye. Them women don't want you. The only reason they do want you is because they think you got some money and they help them up out of poverty. And as soon as they get themselves situated, they're going to deuce out on your behind. So nobody trying to be bothered with them. They want to go to a third world country where they think the women have no options, that the women are so broke and poor that they have to choose them. But what does that tell you about a man who has that mentality? He's purposely looking for someone who is downtrodden and desperate to go and find and victimize. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He's also saying, I'm such a loser that I can't get any kind of woman of where I am in my culture to pay any attention to me because I'm such a loser that I have to go overseas and find a woman who has like bare feet and lives in a hut to date me. Because she's just seeing me as a way out of her situation. That's how desperate she is. And that's the kind of woman that I have to get. So for me, with the people that you call a passport bro, I don't have no love for them either way. But they passporting their asses into the United States or passporting their asses out. Either way, I don't want to be bothered. I think they're losers. What Giggle say? Yeah. I know a dude that happened to. Let me tell you about this clown. Okay, this white boy, he was a trip. I used to do cruises, and he was one. He used to come on the cruise. The cruise was mostly black people, but he, hung out with black people, so he fit right in. But he decided he was going to get married, so he had bought this house and stuff. I forgot where that was, somewhere out in the boonies. And then he brought this little Filipino girl over, Thai, something, and she had a kid, and so he married her. He brings her over here, and she was cute. I mean, cute little thing. But he was just weird. Okay, so he had bought her all these like skimpy clothes, and he had her like changing clothes like she was a fashion show or something. And each outfit got skimpier than the one before. And it was like he would bring her and like parading her around and stuff like it was just the weird. It was bizarre. I've just never seen anything like it. And she, of course, got sick of it, and she didn't want to be bothered changing clothes and parading herself around like that. And so she, was kind of giving him a little resistance, and he got so mad. Some of the bros had to, put hands on dude to keep him from, getting a little bit too physical with the little girl. She was little. He was about 6'2". I mean, he wasn't a big dude, but he was still way taller than her, way outweighed her and stuff. So, I mean, I'm looking at that, and that was years ago. It was years ago. But I'll never forget that look on her face. That look in that. Yeah, she couldn't really speak English that well, but, I put her to the side. I want to talk to her in the kitchen. I was talking to her. Like, well, how did you meet him? Because, he had been on a couple of my cruises, so I, knew him pretty well. That's why he invited me to this party. And she's, telling me in her little broken English. I'm like, oh. And she said he was really nice at first. That's what she said. He's nice at first. I said, oh, he's not nice anymore. She just said, no, not that much. I'm like, oh. So, yeah, I don't know the passport bros. I'm just not. I can't. My ex from 3 years out of the go called me out of the blue, asked me to see me. What should I do? He was like the one that got away. We're so close. We had great times together. Okay, your ex from 3 years ago. I have questions. First of all, Amina, please type in here. What was the reason that you two broke up? The second thing I need to know is, were you in contact with him at all during those 3 years? And number 3 is, was he in another relationship that broke up, and that is why he's calling you? So you answer those 3 questions, because those are questions I have before I can give you any kind of sensible answer. So where was he in them 3 years? What was he doing? Why y'all break up? Okay. I need to know that. Yeah, he's weak. I'm telling you, every one of them that I look at, them passport bros, it's like, don't nobody want you. You better go find you somebody living in a hut. She might make a reason. How to get over being, okay, that's a question that you need to write into the advice column about, because that's I need more information than this little format here. can handle. You know how to do that? You go on debsterism.com and look on the advice form, or it's in the show description, I think. Is it? It might not be in this, but in What the Fuck Tuesdays, it's in the show description. And you just click the link and fill out the form. Because that's one that you need to flesh out. I need to know like how you got played, what happened, how long you all together, or was you together? I mean, there's information that I'm going to need before I can give a good answer on that one. Okay, I'm looking for Amina. You know Giggle's crazy. So she banked it. I know that's right. I know. And that's what they get because they feel like, and they say this all over online, right? That American women or European women too, are modern women are too hard to deal with. And so they think they're going to go over there and get some, you know, foo that's you living in the jungle or some shit. But, oh, Danielle, well, did you have a different name? That could, I mean, I don't recall seeing this name. That's why I thought you were new. I'm sorry. You know, I know a lot of people change their screen name, so I'm not tripping. Unless you tell me what you used to be, then I don't know. Okay, and here's Amina. That's okay. He was in a relationship in them 3 years. We broke up because he wouldn't marry me and play games. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So now he calls you out the blue after them 3 years. We haven't talked for 3 years. Okay, I see that one here. So he calls you out the blue. Now, Amina, let's go back here. You have a man who wasted your time for 3 years. Please explain to me why, when you guys broke up, you did not block him. What was your excuse, madam? See, if you had done things properly, he would not have been able to call you. If you had blocked him on social media, he wouldn't be able to reach out to you. He wouldn't have sent you no message. He wouldn't be able to reinsert himself into your world to waste more of your time. That's all he's going to do. He was with somebody else, right? And then they broke up probably because of the same thing. He didn't want to marry her either. So like a typical narcissist, he's going to look into his pool of available beauties and pick one and see who's going to be willing to entertain his bullshit again. Amina, go into your phone when you hear this and block his number. Do it now. And I want you to forget about this man. And I want you to put your energy into finding someone new. Someone who's on the same page as you and who's going to treat you with the respect and the consideration that you deserve. This guy has already proven himself to be a fool. Okay, you don't circle back to fools. You don't give him another chance to fuck you over again. Okay, that's what narcissists do. That's the only reason he's coming back. So he can fuck over you some more. Girl, don't do it. Don't do it. You've been free and clear of him for 3 years. Continue the trend. Okay? Make it 13, 33, a lifetime. Let's see what Susu talking about. This innovative woman asked for advice because she found an ultrasound photo in her. And she's trying to figure out what to do. Would you confront the man or call the woman? No, I would not call the woman. She found an ultrasound. Okay, first of all, let's think about this. Does he have any female family members that are pregnant? Like a close sister, a daughter, a niece? Okay, if the answer to that is no, I'm just giving you options here. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that in a situation like that, I would think about that first. Because, like, I don't know, if it was my brother's and he had one of me, and it was his first, niece, because we did do that. My brothers named my daughter. Each one of them gave her a name. So she has three names plus her last name because I didn't want to leave any of them out. So they all got a piece. And then, so if it's something like that, they had an ultrasound of her. And I guess I didn't think about that. It might have caused a problem for their women, but I guess they explained. I don't know what they did, to tell you the truth. Okay, but If it's not that kind of situation, but he has an ultrasound picture and she thinks that he's gotten someone pregnant, then the conversation should just be sit down and say, I found this ultrasound in your pocket. What does this mean? She should give him opportunity to explain. And then she should say, well, I want you to understand that as soon as that child is proven to be yours, we're getting a divorce. Because one thing I'm not going to do is have my salary tapped for child support for some ragamuffin, raggedy ass baby that you made with some raggedy ass bitch. We're not going to do that. My kids are not going to suffer. So be prepared to pay child support for this kids you have over here, as well as that one. And then this marriage serve will be done. In the meantime, move your stuff to the guest room or go stay over there with that bitch. And then we'll wait though. We're going to see what happens. Okay. That's what I would do. But I would basically be plotting my escape while we waited for that DNA analysis. No second chances, Anna. You know who you give a second chance to? Your husband. And then even then, under only certain circumstances. Boyfriends, Anna, I've been saying this all night. Boyfriends don't mean shit. You're not married. He's proved himself to be someone you can't trust. He's trifling. He's useless. He just wastes time. He wasted 3 years of your time. And then he went over there and wasted 3 years of her time. And now he's back to try to waste 3 years more of your time. And then he's probably going to go back to her and waste 3 years of her if she's still single. That's how they do. Okay? Don't let that happen. Don't let that be you. Yeah. I mean, the blocking thing, I don't know, for some reason, it really escapes a lot of women's. Oh, she figured out who the woman is and called her. What'd she call her for? The husband said she's getting an abortion, but the woman said she changed her mind and is keeping it. The husband later blamed the wife for the call. Well, yeah, the wife really shouldn't have called her. Her relationship is with her husband. Calling the other woman is like a no-no. I mean, the lady was fine to talk to her, but she wouldn't have got shit from me. If it was me, I would have just told her, you need to ask your raggedy ass husband. He'll be sticking his dick everywhere. Don't talk to him. Don't get off my phone. Don't ask me shit. That's what she would have got from me. But, a lot of women are just not ignorant like I am. Okay, let's see. Someone's giving Amina some backup here. I was in a girlfriend trap for 3 years. My last year's in college. And after graduating, he's in the Navy and reached out every other year and directly proposed. Bullshit. He's full of shit. Yeah, he's a narcissist, Amina. I'm telling you, girl, block him. If you don't block him, you're just going to be sucked right back into that same trap. What they call it? Hoovering? When the narcissist suck you back in? Isn't it called hoovering? Yeah. He hasn't changed, girl. He's just going from woman to woman to see who's available to fill his empty bed. That's all he's trying to do. Loser. Ugh, I can't stand these dudes. Ash said, yeah, I never go back. Not even the second time. My daddy, I told y'all my daddy's phrase, and I made a video about it on here too, and it shows some decayed roses on the thumbnail. My daddy told me when I was 18 and had my first little boyfriend and decided I didn't like this boy no more. I mean, I was kind of, but not really, because he was getting on my nerves, and I kind of was thinking, well, we should break up. But then, it was my first little relationship. I wasn't really sure how to break up with him and stuff. So I go to my father. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I shouldn't break up. So I go to my father, who was my great source of information, and I said, Daddy, let me tell you about what's going on here. I'm trying to figure out if I should break up with him or not. So I'm looking there, I was sitting there doing my silly pose, waiting for him to give me an answer like, yes, break up with him. No, don't break up with him. But that's not what he did, because my father knows me. So he says to me, well, kid, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I am going to tell you this. Once roses start smelling like shit, they don't never go back to smelling like roses. That's what that man told me at 17. I will never forget that shit as long as I live. And it was the exact right thing to say to me. It enabled me to assess the situation, and realize that what started off as roses was now smelling like shit. And I dumped dude that day, and they never looked back. And I do that with any relationship that I'm in. Once the man starts, the roses that he gave me at first start smelling like shit, I'm not going to try to pump them roses up and water them and cut the stems and do all that shit here. I'm going to just throw them roses out of light along with you. That's what I do. And I don't go back, cuz once roses start smelling like shit, they don't know ever go back to smelling like roses. So women who go back, you should have had my daddy in your ear, and then you would know how much time you wasting with all that back and forth bullshit. So I don't do that. I've never done that. One time he had to tell me that, and that was it. I've lived by that the rest of my life. And so I think a lot of times, you guys don't understand my answers and why I say just leave them alone. Dump them is because the roses that you had at first, with a lot of them didn't really have roses. They had daisies and I don't know what they had, but whatever, dandelions, some shit. And then it was rotting. It smelled stink. It was decayed. It's over. It's funky. And they still trying to like put it on life support and keep it going. And I just real cut to the chase and like, just leave them. Just leave them. It's because of that mentality right there. I'm thinking that's never going to go back to the way that you fantasize it is, that you wanted it to be. It's not going to happen. Yeah, that's what he told me. I will never forget that. My father, he was just such a trip. But he knew how to handle me, though, because I don't do well with people telling me what to do. And he knew that. So he didn't tell me what to do. That's all he said, I say. Isn't that something to remember? I want you guys to remember. Like I said, I made a whole video about it and gave different examples, kind of fleshed it out. And I thought it was a wonderful thing for him to tell me. It's worked. And I've run my life by it. So sharing it again with you, because a lot of you probably have never heard that before. So if you're single and you're not married, but you're talking to multiple men, how do you handle it when the eggplant becomes a topic? Well, you know what I do? I'm dating 3 dudes, but I ain't sleeping with none of them. I got the magic man over there on the side. I'm not dating him. He's merely around for a good time. Now, that's what I do. I don't know what y'all want to do. You might want to sleep with one of them. You might want to sleep with none of them. But if you're just dating them like that, and you ain't really serious with them, it's not really I don't really advise you sleeping with them. You get that somewhere else. You got the man who knocks off the cobwebs, and then you get up and you go and you do your thing, because he knows he's not running for anything serious with you. Or you don't have to deal with no dude. I mean, that's always an option too. People have all kind of little toy things. I mean, do you? But I'm just saying that was my approach. The dudes that I'm dating, trying to figure if I want to be my boyfriend before I sleep with them, I have the dude over in the cut. And that, but he knew he wasn't never going to make it to boyfriend status. You ain't even coming to my house. We ain't going out nowhere. It ain't that kind of party. You got one purpose in my life, and I guess I got one in yours, and that's all we doing. And then, you sitting around, you dealing with the other dudes. So you got to kind of keep them on an even keel, so that you either sleeping with all of them or you ain't sleeping with none of them. Yeah, because you get them cobwebs. It becomes, I think, more important when you're younger and you just like, miss hot to trot. But you hollering, girl. I'm trying to tell you. That's how I did it. It's some memories. And then by the time, you decide you're going to stay with one, and he's the cool when you cut the other ones off. And then you get to you do the wild thing with him. Now, what's happened a couple of times. The wild thing was not so wild. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Call back other dude. What you up to? What you doing? Then I'm about to come over. You want to go out? And then I pick right up with him and somebody else, and then he gets nixed. And then we replace him with somebody else in the rotation. That has happened a couple times. I mean, he's a nice dude and everything was worked out as far as everything else, but what was going on in the bedroom was not happening. No, you're nexted. You could have used my dad, honey. Everybody could have used that fool. He was something else. But he definitely taught me some stuff and some game. And he made sure that by the time I went off at, date college and started, dating and stuff, I was on my own, that I was prepared, that I knew the games and I knew what people was going to be trying to do, why they was going to be trying to do it, and the different ways they was going to be trying to do it. It was good. It was good education. So I share a lot of that, with you guys on this channel. A lot of what I have to share with you is stuff that he taught me. And then it's augmented by life experiences that I've personally had, or situations that came up in my life, stuff like that. Honey, yeah, he was something else. He was a special kind of fool. So you guys got any other stuff you want to talk? These kind of conversations are interesting because it's, it's kind of the conversation flows and people ask different questions, and you get to have a different kind of interaction than we usually have. It's more structured. This is much less so. I'm scrolling up to make sure that I caught everything that I could catch. Oh, here's Susu had a question. I missed it. Sorry. Did men go back to their prior relationship together? Of course they do. Let me tell you how that usually goes, though. See, there's a structure to this. Now, y'all listen carefully to this. This is a structure. Okay, you do gonna ring you up. Hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you. Just want to check and see how you doing. And then you, being dumb, fall for the hook. Right? You a fish. You suck the hook in. That was his hook, the bait. You bit. So then you answer, oh, I'm fine and stuff. How is you? Okay. What you're supposed to say is, motherfucker, are you still alive? I was wishing that you was dead. I heard a rumor and I was so hoping it was true. Click. That's what you're supposed to do. But that's not what you do. So then so how is you? Okay, now that opens the door for him to start his game, to spill. Yeah, I was thinking about you because, I really miss you and the good times that we used to have. And remember when we went here? Remember when we did there? And then, he may send you some pictures that the two of you took somewhere that he kept, or some song that you used to listen to, or he starts talking about some place that you used to go a lot, or I don't know, different memories. And so it gets you, the goal of that exercise is to stimulate you emotionally, okay? It gets you in your feels because it takes you back to how you felt about him at that time, right? That's the goal. So then you not understanding what's happening here, you just a fish on the hook, you don't get it. So you're like, oh my God, yes, I remember that. That was so fun. That was so nice. We used to really have a good time together. So he's like, yeah, you interested in getting together? I really would like to see you. I really miss you. This and that. Okay, so now that you're in your feelings, right? You're like, oh yes, because you think I would like to see him too, just because for old time's sake. You're not thinking nothing past that, right? But he sure is. He's like, ooh. And if you're a fisherman, you know how you reel that fish in slow but sure. You don't want to start fighting too much. You don't jump off the hook. So you do it nice and slow. This is a fishing analogy, okay, right? Put the bait on the hook, you throw the hook out, she bit. Now you start reeling her in, okay? So then you all, he gonna text you a time or two or something, right? He's telling you jokes. He's, sending you more pictures. I mean, the idea is for you to start refocusing your energy on him. So then you get together and said he's just so, cute, and he looks like how he used to, and he smiles and it's so wonderful and it's all jokey, funny, and You have a good time, and he takes a couple of selfies, and then he sends them to you so you can reminisce about it and see how he looks now and all the stuff. Right? You can go home and you can look at it and reminisce some more. And all this is designed to get you in your feels and get you to thinking about how things used to be. So then that might go on, I don't know, time or two. He gonna space it out a couple of days, a week. He gonna call you again. Hey girl, all friendly. What's happening with you? You want to go out again? I really enjoyed that. This and that. So you know, yeah, we can be friends. This and that. So you go out with him again. Then the next thing you know, he make a move. Grabs your booty. He lays a kiss on you. Something happens. Something happens of a physical nature. And then you, since you already primed, because you already up in your feelings, with these memories that he's implanted in your mind, you thinking that because he's come back and he stirred these feelings in you, that he wants the relationship again. That's what he wants you to think. That these moves he's making on you have meaning, that there's a future here, that he's trying to get back together. That's the game. So you drop them panties. And then he might even hit it a couple of times. Well, if it's good, he's going to keep the game going a little bit because he lined up somebody else. And then suddenly he's going to create a fight. He's going to create a fight. And he's going to say, oh, man, see, this, I remember now. This is why we broke up. And this and that. And, ain't nothing changed around here. It's going to, of course, have to be your fault that this thing that you imagined you was going to have didn't work. And then he's going to be on out and about his business and repeat that same cycle with one of his other exes. I hope I made myself clear. I know that sounded like a very interesting bedtime story, but that's how it goes. That's the game. That's how it's run. It's a script. They all use the same script. I mean, there might be some slight variation on, variation on there, but that's how it goes. That's the script. And it works because women, you guys no boundaries. So when they come talking that shit, first of all, he shouldn't be able to reach you again because you should have blocked him, okay? But then if he does happen to get through, because maybe he used a different number and you don't know, and you the kind of answers unknown numbers, I don't do that. I just look at them and just let it go to voicemail. But if you the kind of answers because your curiosity is just so crazy, you can't stand to have nobody on your phone, you don't know who it is, then he gets through. You love them bedtime stories. Yeah. Same shit all the time. All the time. Yeah, so planned out. I mean, I seriously think that old school players teach young dudes that, but it's like, because it's the same. It's always the same. It only works when the women don't have enough sense to block them. You guys have got to get better at putting up a boundary. A man dumps you, cheats on you, lies to you, tells you he don't want you no more. He's off, he breaks up with you, whatever. Or he does something egregious and you break up with him. The instant next step is block. You don't leave it so that he can contact you years later. That's the privilege. He's lost that privilege. Okay? He fucked all that up. So he's denied any future access to you. You have to think of yourself as valuable and as him as a useless worm who doesn't deserve to have any time of yours anymore. He used that up. Okay, that's over. That's done. That's done. If you think of them like that, you won't want them in your life anymore. Okay? You've got to do that. They don't have no regard. Feelings to these kind of guys are something to use as a tool against you. That's what that is. It's something to use as a tool against you. That's why there's a video on here called Control Your Emotions. If you are this kind of woman who lets a man easily get into your head and your heart, please use that. That's like a Bible for you. Control your emotions, controlling your emotions, something like that. And it's in there. I teach you the importance of not letting men get to you like that. You, the kind of girls who are like so into men flattering you and telling you that you're beautiful and all that kind of stuff, you are easily manipulated by your feelings because he can tell you some shit and you be all like, and you all happy and stuff. And you want him to, he can make you feel good and you feeling like your self-esteem is all better and all this sort of stuff here. Or you can be like the same. Like if he tells you you're beautiful, okay, thank you. If he tells you that you're ugly, okay, thank you. He says you're a bitch, your mama, but thank you. You know, stuff like that. You don't let it change how you perceive yourself or anything that you do. It's like it's just talk, it's just words. It don't mean shit. So, but you know, as a woman, like if you don't have anybody in your life that has told you that, it's gonna be a foreign concept to you. But that's you cannot let men control your emotions like that. You have to be in control of your emotions. You cannot do that to yourself. Can't give them that kind of power. I'm sorry. Can't do it. What's Susu talking? Why do they even have to do all that? The crazy related thing, they assume they think the word, but they're just twisted. Yeah, I don't know who's lying to women, telling them that men think like women. They don't. They've never thought like women. If you think about, okay, you know what would do better if parents told their daughter, think about the most evil demon in the world, ratchet back like 2 notches, and that's your average man. It's gonna be some that's less that way, but it's gonna be some that's more too. Girl, don't worry about karma. Karma is the kind of thing where people feel powerless and they think, well, somebody else or something else is going to get retribution on their behalf. I make my own karma. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to plot how I'm going to get you back. I'm going to make that happen. That's my personal top 2 thing on my agenda is to fuck you over. So karma to me don't even exist. It's Deborrah. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make you know that it was me that got you too. I don't care if I have to wait 5 years. I'm going to make you suffer the way you did me or somebody close to me. I'm going to get your ass back. There's no escape. There is no escape. Deb, I'm telling you. It's just I can't do, that kind of stuff where people talk about, well, in the next life and they're going to go to hell and they're karma and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what the fuck ever? I mean, that's good if that happens too. But you're going to deal with this on the earthly plane and it's going to happen within the next 12 months. And I'm going to be the one that caused you to have to go through it. It's going to be me. These 2 hands right here and this mouth and this little brain right here is going to figure out a way to fuck you up. There's no, I'm telling you, you just understand somebody who's truly vindictive. And I might not, I'm not going to really say too much. I'm not the kind that's going to advertise it. Like to see when somebody does something shitty, say, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to just look at you. But in my mind, I'm already plotting your demise. I'm plotting how much I'm going to fuck over you and the people that's close to you. I'm going to make you pay. I'll bet you that. You block everything. The phone, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. You block everything. Husband suddenly up and leaving their wife and kids, no notice, no call to shit up. I'm going to the store. God, that's been happening since the 20s. Are you kidding me? That's not new. That's not new. No, that's not new at all. That's been happening. Thank you, Devonda. That is exactly what you should do. That's exactly the way you should handle it. I just scrolled up and saw Maya type Deborah. I don't have good sense. Well, it's 8:00, y'all. We've been at this for 2 hours. I think questioning for coming late and got herself with the kids kicked out the home. Well, Now she knows she divorced, so there you go. But the bottom line, if you kick the kids out, especially if it's in the middle of the night, that's a call to the police, because that's child abuse. So she could have got back in the house. They would have took him. You can't put the little kids out like that. Mm-mm. So anyway, yes, and girl, you got to put your thank you, Sliver. You got to put your instant notifications on. Super B blot rar, whatever that is. You got to put your instant notifications on. So as soon as the show is scheduled or we start up, you'll get a ding on your phone. You just press that's my understanding. You just click the link and it takes you right into the broadcast. I don't know because I can't get instant notifications from my own show because I have to host it. I've never experienced it, so and I don't have time to go to nobody else's shows but mine. So there you go. Okay, so there you go. All right, so we got I appreciate all my donations to the Hen Fund tonight. Thank you. Thank you. We always appreciate that, especially on these shows where we talk about these kind of adult topics and use certain kinds of language. They don't get to run ads because they want to, you know what I mean? The ads have to be like, kids safe content and all this old stuff here. So most of my videos don't get to run ads. So everybody who makes a donation, no matter how small, we appreciate that support for the channel. And I really appreciate you guys coming through. Our next show is going to be on Tuesday. Tuesday is our next one. Oh, here we go. What's next week? January 17th? Yeah, so the thumbnail is going to look like this, with the girl with her covering her mouth and looking like, oh my God. That's going to be our next show on Tuesday night. We have the advice show. If you want to submit a letter to that advice show, log on to debsterism.com and you'll see on the nav bar, it says advice. Click that tab and just fill out the form. Submit your question. Also in the show description pages for all the What the Fuck Tuesdays, you just scroll down and there's a link. It takes you to the same form. So either way, but you don't have to type anything in. That way you just click the link. It takes you right to the form, and then you get to hopefully get your letter picked by Miss Candace, but she's so evil, it's hard to say what she might do. So I hope you guys enjoyed your Friday night with me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay? And I will see you here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. sharp, and hopefully I'll be finished coughing by then and completely healed from whatever this throat death is that landed on me. I don't know, whatever. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.